Hello, Shika.
Hello, Charmaine. How's your day going?
My day is going great. We are a lot busier than yesterday today.
Really? That's good news.
Yeah, that's definitely good news. Yes, most definitely.
Yes, so definitely the
Yes,
second day
great.
is going much greater, busier, and better than what we're learning every day, right? So every day
Yeah,
is much better.
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I think all the little thingies that was there yesterday sorted now. People's more familiar today. The more at ease. It's new for everyone, so yeah, it's something new. So yeah, but it's going better as we go along, and so we will all
Yes.
learn.
Yes, and it's the first ever, so it's always a learning experience. So it's always going to get better, as you rightly said. But quickly diving into this panel number 24 for Espousal Online Day 2, which is going to talk all about flower trading and the growth of bespoke weddings. Bespoke weddings is something which is growing much more after the entire COVID season. Don't you think so, Charmaine?
Most definitely, especially since weddings are smaller, so people tend to spend more money, but they really want a bespoke wedding, something really special. So
Yes.
yes, most
So
definitely
Charmaine and
it's
her entire
growing.
panel are going to talk a lot more about bespoke weddings and all about flowers, and they're going to deep dive into that. So I'm not going to get into that, but to all of you who have logged in just today, maybe, and I'm pretty sure you know Charmaine, but still, I will introduce her to you all. Charmaine Fivers from Tentworks, establishing a well-known brand over 16 years in the South African wedding and events market. Tentworks has been awarded many prestigious contracts under the leadership of Charmaine. So, Charmaine Fivers, event professional since 2008, vast experience in planning luxury weddings and also supplier of bespoke event infrastructure to the events industry, and the person who has made espousal online possible in South Africa. So, kudos to you, Charmaine Fivers, and the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Shika. Let's do this. Thank you.
And hello to
Welcome.
all the nice panelists joining in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Hi, you guys. Nice to see you again. So let me quickly introduce you. We have Sylvia and Alfie from Yes Weddings, bespoke wedding flowers as well. They do wedding flowers as well. Yes, exclusive events and flowers. And then we've got Timo Bolte from Bolte Event Design, and he's from the UK, joining us all the way from the UK here on our screens in South Africa today. Is that not wonderful that we can speak to people from across the globe in one single room? That's just absolutely amazing. Most
Thank you.
okay, guys. So
Cape
yeah,
Town.
Cape Town, yes, fantastic. And I'm in Gauteng, so Johannesburg. So yes,
I'm in the Garden Route.
you're in the
We
garden route. Yes,
represent
yes.
Africa. But I see Timo is actually a
All
little
over.
bit in Africa.
I'm in
Like
the
he has
jungle.
some monkeys around, and I see he is a little bit on the African theme there.
Oh yeah, I see that. Oh, there's a gold monkey there in the background. I see that. I'm with Timo. Okay, great. Timo, you should come to South Africa. Then you can actually see real monkeys. There's
Well,
lots of.
we were working on it with those two amazing ladies, but then this lady COVID came between.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, damn. Well, soon, hopefully, it's all over. You'll be able to
Because
come and visit.
they told me in the rose farms are the monkeys always running around. So I want to see
Yes,
the monkeys stealing the
That's true.
roses.
that's true. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay. Well, quickly introduce yourselves to our audience. You can do it a lot better than I can. So, Sylvia, you can start. Tell us a little bit about Yes Exclusive Flowers.
Yeah, just like also to just correct it, we have two companies, and today we decided we represent actually like one of us represent each one to give the
Okay.
best feedback actually to the audience. So we have Yes Exclusive Flowers, which is a pure flower trade. to businesses, as well as just since October also to the public. We serve, we import flowers, we serve the entire African continent with our flowers, and we bring in, let's say, special flowers, ordinary flowers, but we always want to be the one that brings in a very high quality that florists and brides have a lot of fun with.
That's fantastic. And Alfie, little bit
Yes,
about.
so just on behalf of sorry to interrupt. It's a little bit of a delay, but so on behalf of Yes Exclusive Weddings and Events, we were actually the company that started first before we opened Yes Exclusive Flowers in South Africa. That was in 2015 when we actually started the business of trading flowers. Yes Exclusive Weddings and Events is around already since 2008. And we started off in Germany with our own event venue, and then planning outside of our own event venue in Germany. And I have a background in hospitality. I worked before in Dubai. So that led me actually to open a second office in Dubai in 16 as well. And we are in South Africa. We are in South Africa already for more than 20 years personally, but we do weddings and events already for a very long time here as well. And then obviously, naturally, when we do events, we use Yes Exclusive Flowers to source our flowers from.
Yeah, and maybe also just to see where it interlinks. Actually, we don't want to compete against our own clients. That's why we have actually still a second company where we do the events, and all our experience in the trade or in the event sector, actually we can bring into the trade. We are not pure trader. We actually colleagues to our clients.
And
Well,
I may just add, what we try to do with the event section is we want to showcase special flowers. Like it is a problem in South Africa, and maybe we come to that a little bit later, that traditionally there were a lot of standard flowers available before we actually came into the market. So we are always trying to look for special blooms, different shapes, different colors, extraordinary stem lengths. So if people have never seen things like that, they are not requesting it. So that's why with Yes Exclusive Weddings and Events, if we're doing events, and we are very selective also on the events that we take on, but for those, we really want to showcase and use it as a marketing tool almost for our flower business, to show people, florists and clients, to actually request those flowers that they maybe see on pictures of events that go out from us, so that people see what is available and what can be sold also in South Africa.
Okay, that's absolutely amazing. You guys have built a very nice intertwined business that actually builds on each other. So that's very, very good for you guys. Timo, and you are actually don't need introduction, but yes, tell us a little
I
bit.
have to say my journey also started in Germany. So as we are all of us are Germans, but my journey started on the opposite. So like 22 years ago, I started working with flowers. Then I became a florist. And in the last years, I realized, okay, I was always working with events, suppliers, planners, vendors. And I was like, the events how I see the event, no one is really doing. So I decided I just plan my own events. So I came the opposite way. I came from the florist to the managing and organizing side, to understand the needs what I have and to realize the dreams I have. So I came the other way around than the other two ladies. Now we are doing mostly destination events out of UK, out of Europe, like Middle East and everywhere, and we are just traveling around all the time.
That's
He's
fantastic.
doing great things. I must say, we know each other for long. I remember that one phone call the first time. I still remember that years ago, and he has done since very, very amazing things.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Amazing. Okay, so let's get onto our topic. The South African flower industry and the world flower industry for that, because Tim, you can actually give us some perspective on on outside South Africa, because you work a lot in, abroad from us. Is the flower industry in South Africa is a multi-billion rand industry, and worldwide it's probably a multi-billion trillion dollar industry worldwide, because it is really a huge industry. Tell us a little bit more about that. What is your experience? Is it really that large? You guys trade in flowers. You deal with all these international people that grow flowers and so forth. How big is the industry really?
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is the hard chair, I would say. The industry is big, yes, I would say, but there is a but. It is split, actually. The industry is big because we in South Africa, or in Africa, I would say in Africa, because we have other countries like Kenya and Ethiopia, which go along with that, are large exporter of flowers. That makes us a multi-billion industry. However, in South Africa itself, the industry, I would call, has quite potential to grow. Let me say it that way. Huge potential to grow, because first of all, in South Africa, we have not a culture of flowers and flower shops like what we know from Europe. Being European, and maybe if everybody that has visited other countries in Europe, you have at each and every corner, you have flower shops there, right? So this is an industry itself. We are missing this, let's say, percentage of our industry in South Africa almost completely, because we have a very low number of flower shops compared to other countries. So our flower industry is mostly based on two, let's say, sectors. The one sector is the shopping mall flower,
Retail,
retail trade. That's one part. That is a very competitive market, and also, from my perspective, not a very healthy market, because there is, like in any other country, there is always how cheap you can be. Then you are in the run. And then we have another huge sector, which I would say is the most of our flower industry here. This is the event industry, the greater event industry, not only weddings, but also corporate events, private events, all of this. We have lots of destination weddings. So this industry is actually huge. And when we started about 5 years ago, I was shocked. I can say that. I was shocked what I have found. Because coming from a totally different industry, we haven't been grown up in the flower industry, let's say like that. So you jump into an industry and you are expecting something, but my expectation was not very, very high. But honestly saying, what I found was not at all what I expected. We have one flower place in South Africa that was at the time the only place to get flowers. We have an auction. We will come a little bit later, maybe, to that point, and that was it. When I visited the first time, actually, the auction, I was asking the person that brought me there, yeah, but where's the auction? Where's the trade? Where is it? Because I was expecting something completely different for Africa, because it's not only for South Africa, because also our industry is supplying to neighboring countries. And at a time, I also couldn't find any flowers that we call quality flowers. It was a massive amount of, let's say, cheaper valued flowers. And also quality was not so much at a time a point where people focused on. So let's make this round, having this event with Karen Tran in our back, I was searching for flowers for this event, which should be high quality, which I couldn't find at the time. So they actually was either we are not doing this event, or we can get somehow these flowers that we need, you know, and so everything started with this request for that one event. And then it actually went a bit viral when the event was featured at Top Billing. But coming back to your question, is also something that like 5 years ago, there was the flower industry in South Africa was mostly focused on exports. That was actually to make the money on the local flowers, the proteas, the indigenous, like chrysanthemums, lilies, those type of things were exported. But the problem on this, we produce amazing flowers. Don't get me wrong, but all the first grade goes to the export, and what has been left was left
Goes
for the
into
South
the local.
African industry, and that is not right. For my personal intent, it's not right. And during the last 5 years, we see that a lot of small farms have managed to step into the flower industry, like micro farms. They grow summer flowers or dahlias, ranuncles, all those beautiful seasonal flowers. And they produce amazing flowers for the industry. But there is the next problem actually on the rise. Those little farms, they can only manage to supply in their own little environment where they can supply, let's say 50,
Regionally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
regionally. Yeah.
yeah. So that is at one point it's good, because if you live in that region, you are a happy person. But if not, you're still left out of these beautiful blooms. So that actually left us to the situation that we try to support like local small farms and flower farmers, to help them to pack their products in the right way,
Okay.
that they can actually also bring these flowers into other areas. So
Yeah.
And even export.
Yeah.
even export,
Okay.
yeah.
Very interesting. So, Tim, tell us, you do a lot of weddings. How do you, and I mean, Sylvia and Alfie, they work with a lot of flowers as well, but you do a lot of weddings. How do you actually decide? How do you select your flowers? Is quality very important always, or does it depend on the client's budget? How do you work with flowers? Select your flowers.
Well, we are honest enough, and I would say it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. For example, if we are in the Middle East, it's more about quantity. It has to be loads and loads. So if you see Instagram pages like like Lebanese weddings and all those pages, they are fully stuffed with flowers. But if you ever zoom in the photo, you see many flowers are already dead because of the heat, because it was a rush just to finish the arrangements. It was the wrong choice of flowers or something, whatever. So it's just about quantity. If we go more in the north, where more design is important, and more to Europe, then the quality is more important. Also, there is always a mix of silk flowers and real flowers. So for my taste, of course, I would always go for quality first, because good quality always is a reputation of your own brand. But as I said, it's a cultural thing. I mean, on the other side, sometimes it's impossible. For example, if I see like African desert wedding and I want to have a big chandelier of white orchids, as me as a florist, I know they will never last longer than 3, 4, 5 hours in the sun. So, but I have to hang the chandelier in the morning. So either I have dead orchids, or I go for a very good silk version, which still looks good on the photos. So then focusing on good quality flowers where people actually can reach them, and having a reasonable mix with some fake flowers where is not other possible. Of course, I would like to go for fresh, but sometimes if the wind is going, if the sun is burning or something, then I don't have another chance.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think also like it's seasonal first of all. Like I think like just from also a draping point of view. I mean, we have obviously people that maybe sometimes request flowers that are not seasonal. So then we have to come up with good alternative plans for them. But then it's regional. Like it's exactly like where is the location? Where is it exactly that the flowers are going to? And even sometimes the question of, is it an indoor and outdoor event? Like as Timo said, like is it an air-conditioned place? Is it an outdoor space? What is the season like? Is it summer? Is it winter? And budget obviously is always an issue. I mean, it is like something that we cannot neglect, that flowers are not related to any budget.
I mean, I was working last year on a wedding in the desert in Dubai. We had 56 degrees outside. We had about 30, 40 trucks of flowers, and the whole tent was cooled down on 15 degrees for the whole work period of 2 weeks. So it was 15.
Stop. How many trucks? 50 trucks full of flowers?
Yes.
For one event?
Yes.
Timo, sorry, but how many people do you have that actually now have to arrange those flowers? Because 50 trucks full of flowers is a lot.
Well, we were quite a big team. So actually we had the last 10 days were 100 people working on shifts, 24 hours on the flowers.
100 people, 24 hours.
Shift-wise, yes, for 10 days.
10 days.
For 10 days.
This was all
for
fresh.
10 days.
In the desert, by 60 degrees.
In the desert, at 56 degrees.
With hydrangeas and orchids.
Okay, you, my man, are the bravest soul I've come across. But that is absolutely amazing. And I mean, that just blows my mind to think that there's people like you that actually does things like that. You know, the South African wedding market, and exactly like Sylvia and Alfie mentioned earlier, we are not so focused on flowers. I mean, yes, and I mean, you guys can attest to that because you also have those specific clients. There are those clients that go over the top with lots of flowers, but I would say the median is not the over the top spending R1 million on flowers for the wedding, for instance. And just for interest's sake, Timo, and maybe it's a very personal question, but what did the flowers cost for that wedding? I have to know. I have to know. Will you tell me privately? I have to know.
But when we talk about the African market in general, and I had to move to London to learn it because I really didn't know. I've learned that, for example, the Nigerian market is as big as the Indian market. What is event-wise on people and what is decor-wise. So everybody says, oh, the Indians are crazy. No, the Nigerians are also crazy like this with amount and decor and people and celebration. And they love to come to London or other places. They book the whole hotel and the neighbor hotel and everything just for their people, and they have a more day celebration full of flowers. But this is such a closed market, and they like to have their own vendors, which they are working with. So as a white guy, for me, it's quite difficult to enter this market, but this is a massive market. So even African culture can be very, very flowery, very full, very outgoing.
Yes. I know that the Ghana, we actually the Ghana market is also very luxurious, and yes, I've got a collaboration partner in Ghana, and also done amazing stuff, and it's most definitely. So Africa is actually a very lucrative market for flowers. It may be just not as widely advertised, like it should be.
Yeah, let me add something what Timo said. It is a cultural thing, and being Europeans, when I came here, for me even, it was that in Africa there is much more flowers used than in Europe. As a European, on a European wedding, there's flowers, yes, but there is not this massive amount of explosion of flowers. You have little posies here and there, and you have a little.
It's very fine. It's very refined. Like you have focal points also much more, but it's not the main impression, because this is again a cultural thing, you know. Like in Europe, I think it's very understated. It's very chic. It's very, like, not saying it's not chic in Africa, but they have a completely different approach to the floral design. And I'm sure Timo can just like confirm that. And when we are going to like the African market, and let's just say like the African market, we need to have like wowzers, you know, like you need to have like something that is blowing you away. and Germans or Europeans do not like to show off in that case. I think they want to show maybe luxury in a very different way than just by flowers. I think there's a lot of different other components that are added to a high-end luxury wedding than flowers. And I think in Africa generally, like flowers are one major point to actually showcase that it is a luxurious wedding.
And for us, it was also difficult to set through a different mindset for florists as well as for brides, because a lot of brides, almost all brides, coming with Pinterest pictures, lots of flowers on it, and a lot of people, yes, they don't know how much flowers cost, how much labor costs. I'm not blaming some people for that, but it is not always the best solution to have a massive amount of flowers. What I'm always saying is less is more. Maybe from my European background, you can have an amazing setup with very special flowers, but not so many, but people are blown away, and it costs you not a fortune. So I think the mindset has to shift a bit, like for a lot of people, not always the quality, the quantity is important, but rather the quality and the uniqueness of something.
Yes. Yeah, and that actually brings me to the next point is, we go from massive 50 truckloads full of flowers to a single butt in a vase. What is your thoughts on that? Because that's the trend we're seeing, this single butts in vases. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, I just gonna jump in because I say, to be honest, more is more, and I hate single butt vases. I really hate them unless there is 1,000 on the table, but I really don't like them.
I agree.
What I really like is full volume but less variation. So like having like 2 or 3, 4 flowers, but then a volume. Then more is more, definitely for me. But now I'm talking now about the planner side, not as a florist side. A good event don't need flowers. A good event need food, need a DJ, and atmosphere. Light. These are the 3 things a good event need: light, DJ, and food. Because this is what people are talking about. You can have a ugly barn with a beautiful light, it looks stunning. You have the most amazing flower decoration, without the light it looks like nothing. So you need light, music for the mood, and some food, and that's it. And then are just the flowers coming. And then I love to say more is more. And then 1,000 bud vases with 1,000 protea looks amazing, but just one on the table. Then I prefer not having anything on the table, but spending more money on the lights, to be honest.
Yes, Timo, I said sometimes. Less.
Yeah. And again, like I think what is important, even if it's less, if I can just, even if it's less flowers, what I think less is more in the sense of have something amazing. If you cannot afford more and more, don't have just something like in the vases. Have like less of something like in the vases, but something that is special. I think this is what we are referring to when we say that, when we like also speak to brides that come with those amazing floral like pictures of Pinterest or like anywhere else, and then like they're like, okay, like can you quote me? And then when we quote, like when we say, well, this will be approximately that much, sometimes like you get those big eyes and you're like, okay, no problem. You can make an impact also in a different way than just by the amount of flowers. If you have something that is unique, like on the tables in fewer quantities, that is also something that is very pretty.
So my pro tip for the brides, really my most important tip, what I always suggest, on a limited budget, take a triple of the budget and make one statement show-stopping piece, like an entrance, like a bride's table, like something, because this is what people are talking about. No one of the guests ever talk about, on all the cocktail tables we have 5 roses. But if you have one centerpiece or one showstopper where everybody's taking photos, they're like, there was this massive flower chandelier, and then just put candles or fruits or something on the table, just something anything. But maybe one piece people have never seen and people are talking about, because people, especially especially in this time, need an Instagram moment. People have to take a photo to say, I've been there. So we have to provide this moment, because otherwise they will take a photo in front of the Dixie toilet or whatever. And this is not the message we want to have from the wedding. So we have to give actually a frame for them to take a photo.
Yeah, but also exactly what you say is very important, because I remember we had a very high level wedding with 500 people, and it was a big flower budget actually, or decor budget. But with the bride moving from one concept during the planning process to a totally different concept, by the end of the day, we felt there's not enough left for the table decoration. So we were talking actually to each other, can we actually make an announcement to her? It was very brave at a time, let's say. We said to her, look, we can offer you one thing. We make exactly what Timo said. We make over the dance floor, which was the entrance as well, a statement piece with orchids, with dried flowers, with whatever. It was a huge bang. But then we will have no flowers on the table. She looked quite shocked. And then we said, we can offer you, we will have about 5,000 candles on your tables. Only candles, different heights, square
No
candles,
single flower.
No single flower.
That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing.
This is also what I feel like the industry needs to provide. We are not just executor of a bride's dream. We have a responsibility towards her dreams. And we always say, and this is what Timo said, we think in pictures, or we have to think in pictures. We have to think like, what is this creating? What picture is this, what we are creating? Because
what is what lasts, like what moment of this event that we are creating lasts. And as Timo rightfully said, it's these days, it's not so much about like chatting to the grandma, and like it's a social event, right? So it's a social event. Our all lives are all about social media. So you need to be seen. You want to be like at this place somewhere, and you need to say that I have been there. And this is what like is also a new part of what people need to think about. And it's not just about creating a wedding, it's creating memories. You know, I think that is also something that is very important in our time now.
For all the brides out there who's getting married and the first time for you, you guys gonna be busy on this day. Believe me, from the photos to the congratulations to the dance to you guys gonna be busy all the time. So the thing what you will have is the week after, 2 weeks after, when you get the photos back, you're going to say, this was there too. Oh yeah, this looked really nice. And none of you want to have a photo looking like, where was the decoration? Where did I spend all my money for? And you can't even see it, because you will just realize how your wedding was after the wedding. On the wedding itself, you won't recognize it. Mostly the mom, the bride's mom and the groom's mom, they have the celebration of their life. But the couple itself, they are just busy.
We have to wrap up. Our time is up, but we've got one question and we quickly need to answer it. What is your opinions on fake flowers? So who wants to go? But we literally have 1 minute.
I think Timo said it already. Maybe he wants to repeat it.
Fake flowers make sense if there is no other solution possible and where people can't reach it. So if it's like high enough, or the sun is really burning, or the wind is going, there is no other opportunity, then yes, but it has to be a good quality. I'm not allowed to say more.
This is actually like a floral rule, like fake flowers where you cannot touch it. Nobody can touch it.
No, yes, most definitely. Guys, thank you, girls. Thank you so much for chatting to us here today. It's really, and I'm sure we can go until 6 o'clock tonight, because
I would love to.
It's so nice to chat about this topic, but unfortunately we don't have time today. But we'll chat soon again, and thank you so much for being part of our first espousal in South Africa. Thank you, guys. Have an awesome one.
Thanks for having us.